So I'm back to working on this Atari football board. It's been a few days since I last looked at it. I've got the cheater board installed with the ROM to bypass these ROMs. And when I put it in self-test, I still get bad RAM and bad ROM. Now this D, I was confused about this. This D is not telling me that it's ROM D. This is actually a dip switch setting. So I can ignore that. So there's a logic problem that's causing the bad RAM and bad ROM. It's not going to necessarily be the ROMs. It could be, but it may not be. And hopefully it's not, because these are kind of cool to have. This board here should be bypassing that, so pretty sure this ROM error is false. It's probably a logic problem. I have been probing around, and when I look at the schematic for the decoding of the write signal, this write signal isn't happening. I'm not seeing any activity on this line here either. So C3 looks to be bad to me. I've got signals here. I've got the buffered read write and the Phi2, the buffered Phi2 clock. Both of those signals are active, but I have nothing here. So I'm going to try replacing C3 now, and to see if that fixes everything. I hope it does. It very well could, but it looks like all the gates on this guy are dead. So let me replace that. And that chip is, let's see, C3. It's this guy right here. So I'll have to remove this, and I'll replace that, put a socket, and install a new one of those. It's a LS32. I'm sorry, it's an LS00. It's a NAND gate, a quad NAND gate. So let me do that, and I'll be back. I've cut that chip out, and you can see what happened. It exploded underneath. And here's the bottom side of that chip. You see it's got a crack in there and a bubble. Yeah, that thing died. So definitely that's a problem. Because the power got reversed on this thing, there could be more than one of these. We'll just have to fix them one at a time. Hopefully it's only one. And hopefully, like I said, it's not the proms. That would be more troublesome. So let me get this 00 replaced, but thought that was noteworthy to show how that cracked underneath and burnt the board, discolored it. Not damaged, just discolored. Okay, so I've got the new chip installed there. I had a 74 Advanced Schottky 00, which will be fine for that. And bam, we now have ROM OK and RAM OK. I've still got my cheater board in here, so I don't know if these are good or bad yet. I'm going to check that in a minute. I'll also retest the two RAMs that I removed to see if they were actually bad or not. But yeah, so progress is made. Now, when I put it into play mode, though, there are problems. See that line there that's moving around? That's the first down indicator line. Also, this thing is moving when it shouldn't be. I'm not sure what that's about. So there's some sort of logic problem going on here. But the game's running now, and it's not a RAM or ROM problem. But yeah, some weirdness going on. There's going to be some more logic chips bad. I will continue to probe, but let me check these proms. Let me put the processor back in. Okay, so I got the processor in there. Here's the ROM board. I took it out. Getting the RAM OK and ROM OK messages. Notice how it's lined up differently, though. Something's weird there, and what I think it is on my board I have the latest version of the Atari football software, and on this board it's probably the very first version. So I think that's a relic of that. I don't think the error's wrong. I do think the ROMs are good. So good news. I think we're going to be able to get away with using these again. So I will be replacing this socket because these are notorious for going bad. This is the Atari original, so I'll put a new socket in there eventually, but that'll be the last thing I do. So anyway, we've got a problem with the playfield. Okay, that stuff scrolling, the playfield should scroll with it. And as things are moving, this is moving. That's correct. That is actually correct. Because the playfield should be scrolling and it's not. So actually, that may not be right. I don't know. Something funny there, but I'm expecting the playfield to move along with the ball, right? And it's not. So yeah, I'm going to be focusing on the playfield circuitry for this one, for this problem. Yeah, I think this line is actually correct. Let's see if, yeah. Let's just look at it a little bit longer. I didn't make a completion there to help me out, did it? I need that ball to be advanced so I can see that move. Okay, here we go. So that was not caught. Okay, weird. Yeah, I think this is playfield related, so let me keep looking at it. These are the schematics, or the part of the schematics that deal with the playfield. We've got some vertical and horizontal signals coming in. We've got address bus, buffered address buses coming in. And that generates all of these signals, these PF signals. That means the playfield data. PFA is playfield addressing. Those come in and propagate through all the way from right to left. All of this stuff here looks pretty good. It looks like it's correct. Down here, though, these signals, these SFH1, or I should say SFH0 through SFH7, I believe. Yeah, none of these are doing much, and this is because this chip here isn't getting a clock signal. The data is getting there, but the clock is not latching the data in to move on through this part of the circuit, and which gets fed up here, okay, to generate these address lines for the playfield. So this out zero is what is the problem, or what I believe is the problem. So the out zero signal comes from this 9321, and this chip is not ever being enabled. This pin 1 is always high. When I look at the B5, I'm seeing signals pulsing on the inputs, but nothing happening on the output. So I'm going to try to replace this 7432 guy. That should awaken all this if this is bad. If this truly is bad, then that should awaken all the circuitry for the playfield, and I bet you that fixes the problem. I'll be back. Okay, I got this 7432 quad OR gate replaced, and game's running. Self-test passes RAM, passes ROM, hopefully. And replacing that chip also fixed the sound. The sound was missing. So that makes sense because the sound is an output, and that chip that I replaced controls all of the outputs. And I guess the playfield graphics is considered an output. So yeah, we got RAM okay, ROM okay. I need to test the not the joysticks, the trackball controls. Audio's testing pretty good. Let me start a game. Oh, and the lights are working too. So that's player 1, or left player, whatever, and that's the other player. So let me see if the sound is good. Yep, the whistle noise. I'd say we're good. So as you push these, you can select for each player, right? So that player's lights are all working. Let me switch over to the other player. Yep, so all that's working. That's good. Graphics are wonderful. I don't see any problems now. Good crisp picture. Of course, that's the monitor, not necessarily the board, but anyway, yeah. So these two chips were the main problem. Now these RAMs were bad. I tested them. These two guys are no bueno. So the RAMs were bad, and those two chips, these two chips here, all the ROMs were good. That's the important thing. I was so happy that is, because this is a rare configuration. I think this board was really old. It's an 01 version. You can see that there. Serial number on it is 1073, number 10. I don't know what the serial number range is. This could have been the 73rd game built. I don't know what the ranges are for this board. But anyway, I do believe it's one of the first ones. So, and it's in very nice shape still. Unfortunately, you know, I have to replace chips, and so I installed sockets. So it's not original, if you will, but you know, it is what it is. All right, so things left to do. I need to replace this socket and I need to test the trackballs, make sure they're working, and if they are, that's it. I can't think of anything else that I need to do. I'll be back for a final summation. Final summation. See you in a little bit. So I've got everything back together. I got a new socket in for the processor. I've got the regulator and the power resistor installed for the power supply. Board is still working. Unfortunately, my trackball is dead. I must have killed it when I was wiring it to be used with the Le Mans project I'm working on. And I can't find the little photo transistors and diodes to fix it. So that'll be a future project to get that running again. I'm going to have to ship this back without testing the controls. I'm sure they're fine. I mean, I don't know for a fact. But that's the only thing that may not work, and I don't know. I wish my trackball was working so I tested, but it's just not available. So I'll get this video posted and let the customer know that it's working, and I'll also burn it in a little bit to make sure everything holds up. So anyway, nice looking board. Good picture, looks good. Looks like it's playing well. Alright, I guess that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I've decided to go ahead and try to repair my trackball. This is the first board that I've replaced the diodes on and the photo transistors. I'm not going to put the plastic housing back on like this one. The plastic housing ensures that the transistor and the diode, phototransistor and photodiode, are aligned, but if you're careful, it should be aligned. I don't think there's a filter or anything on that. Well, I mean, there is, but I don't know if it makes any difference. So I'm going to try this. If this works, then it's a lot less work than having to grind down. If you look at my previous videos on this, I had to grind down these guys here to make them fit into the housings. Where'd the other housing go? I misplaced it. Oh, here it is. So, yeah, you have to skinny them. You have to grind enough off of them, both on the sides and off the back, to get it to fit into this. And it's just a pain. So I'm not going to do it this time. I'm just going to do it like that, and we'll see if it works. Okay, so I've got them soldered in, and I got them at approximately the same height as how they're mounted in this thing. So I put this level to the circuit board and raise them up to about the same height. I don't think it's critical that it has to be exact. Once you get them in, you kind of twist them and lift them and stuff to get them lined up. And I guess we'll find out if this works. Anyway, so yeah, let me put the the trackball back together. Got to be careful when you put these in that the encoder wheel doesn't impact these and knock them out of alignment. So let me get this back together and we'll give it a shot. Well, the trackball doesn't work without using those filters, apparently. So I wasn't able to test the trackball using the trackball, but I was able to test the circuitry by just falsifying or faking the signals. Just basically shorting the clock signal for each control to ground, and that causes it to move incrementally horizontally and or vertically. Horizontally or vertically. And I tested both players, and they both responded to that. So I think the joysticks are going to, not joysticks, shoot, the trackballs, I think the trackballs are going to work just fine. So I am done with this board then, and I will contact the seller and let him know. Thanks for watching.